Hi, I'm Donna Hughes with Keller Williams Realty, and today I'm with Leslie and Brad, and we are out here on their beautiful farm. They've accumulated quite a bit of animals, livestock, and they're looking for a bigger farm. So this one's going to be for sale. So Brad, tell me what you have here.
Well, we've got about 60 acres, it's 57 acres, and this is a great vantage point. We've got about 45 acres of pine trees, and then about 15 acres of finished land, either pastures, almost a 2-acre pond. There were a lot of trees here to begin with, and we pushed them down to make room for the animals and the grass.
So you've got some pastures here?
Yeah, we've got really 4 sets of pastures that the animals can run back and forth from.
So
Yeah.
you have a facility here that's suitable for horses, cows, you have goats,
We
you
have
have
goats,
horses, you have a
yes.
donkey,
We've considered llamas,
considered llamas.
alpacas. Yeah.
How much-
it all started with a donkey and basically a rescue horse.
How much is actually fenced in? How many acres would you say?
Probably about a little over 10,
A little
10
over
or
10.
12.
Okay, and how do you provide water for each and every one of those enclosures?
Well, we ran water to the pastures that didn't already have a creek bounding them.
Okay.
Otherwise, the animals have access to the back creek or the pond in the front.
I gotcha. So Leslie, what did we do here to this house? We've done a lot of work to this adorable farmhouse built in the 20s. Tons of work, correct?
It was. We had to gut the house. It was cute to begin with. but
It's already cute to start with.
But we needed to update it, so we did. We gutted it, put in some new rooms and hardware and toilets and everything you need to actually live here. So we really love it here.
And so other than farming and other than having all of your mini chickens, roosters, guineas, and all these beautiful animals, goats, horses, a donkey, you could also, somebody who loves nature could come here and make trails on that 45 acres of pine trees and do hiking every day.
Yeah, there already are a few switchbacks already on there, and we can go over those later.
And for hunting, this is ideal, correct?
I don't hunt, but yes, everybody who's ever visited us here has asked 2 questions. Are there fish in the pond, and are there deer and turkey? And there's small fish, you could stock it, and there's plenty of wildlife. We've seen deer, we've seen turkeys,
Fox, raccoons.
we've seen fox, took out a fox. We've
We
seen
saw
their
a
chickens.
huge buck. Brad saw a huge buck.
Yeah.
So this 60 acres would really be perfect for somebody that just wants to hunt, live here and hunt. Yeah, and without people. And you know, as a real estate agent, I get calls every day. This is the majority of the call that I get. I want to live somewhere where I can't see my neighbors. Tell us about that, Brad. Can you see neighbors here?
You will not hear a neighbor. You'll hear chickens and maybe a dog in the distance. We're bounded on every side by trees. Behind us, this was all one property at one point, and behind us, behind the creek, the family that owns that, they built on the other side of the hill. So you can be here for days, for hours at least, and not hear anyone else.
And no one knows you're here, so it's like your very own vacation getaway.
And we're set back off the road. You know, there's an access, there's about an acre at the front, but then everything sets back off the road. So you're protected. No one's just going to drive by or drive up.
Well, so tell us also about the view back here. So when he gets the drone out later, he's going to be able to see Sourtown Mountain and Hanging Rock, correct?
Yeah, there's about a 100-foot
Yeah, going that
elevation
way.
change from the top to the bottom and then back up to the top of the pine trees. And looking north and west here, when we first got into the property, we loved the property, but I just felt like there was something else here, another calling for what was here. So there were trees here, and this was all gunch. But we ran up here and found one of these higher points, and we absolutely could see Hanging Rock and Sourtown Mountain, and that's when we knew we wanted to be here, because it was just beautiful.
So if somebody wanted to build a house in that spot, they
This
could
is a
perhaps-
perfect spot up at the top. The fellow that owned the property before us wanted to build his house up in the pine trees. He's from Virginia, so he appreciated being in the woods more than being out in the open. But this would be a perfect spot.
So this would be a great place to camp if you're into camping, right, Brad?
That's right. Yeah.
It is. It's remote. It's quiet. There's all kinds of, outside things up here.
Be a great place for a deer stand, as we were talking about earlier, and we're now about 30 acres away from where we just were, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and this trail that came all the way up the mountain was just gorgeous. Beautiful. If you're into, walking, hiking, man, that would be great to have access to every day.
We keep it trimmed back, and from this point you can go down the hill to a spring to the creek, which feeds the pond.
So if you're parents and you're raising teenagers and you want to get them an ATV and get them out of your hair for a while, this would be a great activity for your teenagers to do, having them a spot that they can come and hang out. And I think it's great for kids to grow up in nature and be able to have access to the woods and get out and be kids and not be on this thing all the time. So these are your targets?
Yes, we both grew up around animals, but neither one of us grew up shooting anything. So we come up here and this is our practice range. Where we are now is the first turnoff off of this trail. It's a great little trail. It's for a hike or even just a walk. It's above the pond and it takes you down to the creek, which feeds the pond. It's a great place to come and just chill, maybe bring a sandwich, maybe bring a book. It's just a good view because you get to see the house and the pasture, and it's just very serene sitting here above the pond.
We should walk in now.
Let's go.
Wow, look how gorgeous the pond is from this vantage spot.
And the guineas.
And the guineas.
All right, this is what we call the south pasture. It's where we keep the horses. The cows come in sometimes. But the horses like it because they've got access to the stream. So they've got fresh water. They've got grass on the open area, and then the fencing continues through the woods at the end here. Probably another couple hundred yards of woods. They like getting out of the heat. All right, here we are at the south pasture. This is a great one for the horses and the cows because they've got access to the stream. So they've got fresh water always. It's fenced in, so they've got the grass on half the pasture and the other half sticks back into the woods, so they've got plenty of shade. It also joins the west pasture with more access to the water, and we can cordon them off when we want to keep them away from each other. So we never knew we would have this many. We started with a donkey and a horse, and I don't even know when we got our first chicken. And now we're up to 100 chickens and 6 or 7 cows, horses, 15 goats.
So you need a bigger place.
We just want more.
More flatlands.
So you love this life. You love this life that you've made here.
Absolutely.